What is up, everybody? That is a fantastic, fantastic win. Um, Absolutely love to see that. Yankees take the series against the Mariners in a tough, close, hard-fought game. Just like yesterday was. Yesterday was a tough one. Extras, we know we're never really great in extras. This one today, very tight as well. 1-run victory. Gotta love it. This felt like a game that they had to have, and you can kind of see by Boone going to Weaver there again in back-to-back days to get the save and lock up that series. Definitely there was a sense of urgency there for sure. Now they go into the off day. They have the big series coming up against the Mets. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Cannot wait to watch that one. Let's get into this game a little bit. Started off with Will Warren looking fantastic. I mean, he was striking out everybody. I think he had 5 strikeouts in a row at one point. It's kind of been a thing with him all season. The stuff's been really good. The movement's there. The pitches look nice, but sometimes can be erratic. And there was a point there during the middle of that start where he was erratic a little bit. But overall, stuff was solid. I'd say another solid start for him. Only went 5 innings, but we'll take it. Gave up 3 hits, 2 runs earned, not earned runs. There were 2 runs given up, 0 earned runs, and 9 strikeouts, which is fantastic. I mean, his stuff was really working today. That inning where those unearned runs did take place. Had a little mix up at first base there. You had DJ and Rice and Warren. A little bit of miscommunication there. I think Ben Rice came too far off the bag once the ball was hit. Didn't really understand where DJ was in proximity to him, and couldn't get back in time. DJ threw the ball. Nobody was there. Will Warren hadn't gotten there in time for that situation. So, ball gets thrown away. Inning was a little messy. It seems like the Yankees always struggle with these, first baseman and pitcher having to cover and that whole situation. So, another hiccup there, which is unfortunate, but overall didn't hurt them. We get the super clutch pinch hit Paul Goldschmidt home run, which is fantastic. Those forearms have never looked better. This looks like Arizona Paul Goldschmidt. I don't know what's gotten into him, but he looks really, really good, which is a huge boost for this team, especially missing Stanton. So love to see that. Aaron Judge, man, they were spamming him since yesterday with slider after slider after slider after slider. I harped on it a little bit on Twitter. You can see some of my comments about it. Some people think I'm giving Aaron Judge shit. I'm not giving him shit. I'm not dunking on him. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just kind of pointing out trends that I see. Just kind of calling it how I see it. That's always how I've been. And the guy who's hitting 400, it's kind of hard to believe that you can keep spamming the same pitch down on the way out of the strike zone. He's going to keep waving at it. But you know what? They went to the well one more time. They tried to throw another slider with a reliever there. I think it was Vargas. Went to the one too many times, hung the slider, and Aaron Judge absolutely smashed it. I think the exit velocity was 118, which is crazy. And Aaron Judge is halfway to 30 home runs right now. That's his 15th dinger. He's got 40-ish RBIs, so he's almost halfway to 100 RBIs there too. OPS is absolutely ridiculous. So Aaron Judge doing Aaron Judge things. It's absolutely fantastic. That was a clutch homer as well. And Luke Weaver, man, second day of work, like we mentioned earlier, comes in. I think he struck out the side, right? I think he struck out all 3. Looked really good. Heater was up to 95-ish. So, definitely something we want to keep seeing. Velocity climbing a little bit. He'll get the day off tomorrow and hopefully be rested for this matchup against the Mets, which is going to be box office. I mean, this is the one to look forward to. So very excited about that. Ness says DJ got a hit. He absolutely did. That was crazy. We finally saw the DJ, slap a single type of version of him. So it's definitely encouraging to see because there was some soft contact earlier in the game, ground ball, and everyone was like, oh, man, same old shit with him. But Jones says Warren was there but stopped because Rice. Yeah, Warren was getting there. Rice was kind of, not there in time. A little bit of miscommunication there. Rice is still learning the position. So he's going to need some more reps. Got to see Ben Rice playing more first base. I know it's hard with Paul Goldschmidt playing so well, But they're going to have to try to squeeze some Ben Rice first base in there so he can keep learning these things, because I do think he's the first baseman of the future. So we'll see. Tina says, awesome win. Absolutely. Bernard says, great game. Yeah, that was a great win for sure. Kind of felt like they had to have that one after losing a close one yesterday. They went to Cruz late. They went to Weaver again. Had some of their best guys in there to try and keep it close or lock down a late lead there. So that's very exciting. Yankees record improved to 25-18. Looking good there. But looking back at the pitching, I mean, Fernando Cruz, 1 inning, 0 runs. Hamilton, really good. 1.1 innings, 0 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. Matzik, didn't look fantastic. He's still working on some things. They just keep going to him because he's a lefty that throws 95, 96. So, I mean, he had some good moments when he was on the Braves. It's one of those things where we don't have a ton of lefties in there. We do have Tim Hill, but you can't go to him every time. And he's looked a little bit more human recently. So Matzik is going to keep getting looks. I would prefer for it to not be in close games like today and what we saw before, because if a guy's still working on stuff, you don't want to spoil a close game, and sacrifice a chance to win a ball game to get a guy feeling right. But he didn't give up any runs, so that's good. Only got 2 outs, walked a guy, but the damage was limited. And overall, Yankees pitching, 9 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, fantastic, and 15 strikeouts. That's phenomenal. The pitchings look good. They looked good yesterday. If Will Warren can keep, giving us an opportunity every 5 days to win a ball game, he doesn't have to be perfect. He's still learning himself. He's one of these young guys getting the shot, to get out there and pitch. He's getting his free run now. He's going to get plenty of opportunities with the, the injuries we've had in the starting rotation. So you want to see Will Warren continue to build on some success. He had a good start in Oakland. He looked really good to start this game, striking out 5 straight at one point. His confidence looked good. That 1 inning, he was kind of looking at the mound. He was shaking his head after missing some locations a couple of times, working through some things. He didn't have the great feel that he had early towards the middle of his start there. So, but he worked through it. He battled, wasn't feeling his best, wasn't doing, what he was doing earlier in the game, but he figured a way to get out of it there. Somewhat unscathed. The 2 runs did score after the Julio Rodriguez fastball there with the bases loaded that he smacked to the opposite field. But, that was a little bit interesting with the pitch sequencing there. I wouldn't have fed Julio Rodriguez a heater there, first pitch with the bases juiced. But, that was pretty much the only damage, and pitching, held it down the rest of the way, and the offense did their thing to give this team an opportunity. So overall, pretty solid from Warren. John says Warren pitched great. 12 in the third. His last 12 in the third, he has 1 earned run and 16 Ks. That's phenomenal. And both on the road too. 2 road starts. Usually young guys, not routine's a little different on the road, different ballpark, mounds feel different, different bullpens, all that kind of stuff. So it's great to see Will Warren not only have that back-to-back start success, start to feel more confident, start to get more results from his great stuff, but he's doing it on the road, which is great. Jacob says, Johnny, how are you, buddy? Huge comeback. Doing good, Jacob. That was a great comeback after a tough one yesterday in extras where we don't usually have success. That was really great to have this one today. Do we just find Warren's personal catcher? I don't know. Maybe there is some rapport there with Escara. We're going to need more of a sample size to see. You don't really want to have to pull. I mean, Austin Wells is going to have to get his days. He's not going to start 7 days a week. Probably won't start 5 days a week. So Escara is going to get his opportunities. So maybe it can be on the Will Warren days if that's what it's going to have to be to keep Will Warren comfortable. Because his last 2 starts, he's looked fantastic. So I guess if you start seeing a trend there and some good rapport, maybe keep going back to it. It's kind of, you can't really give a young pitcher a quote unquote personal catcher because he's got to earn his stripes a little bit. But hey, if there's something there and they might want to go back to it, I would not be opposed to that happening. Pitchers and catchers have a very unique relationship. I used to want catchers to be a certain way when I was pitching. I didn't like small catchers. I didn't like catchers who didn't receive the ball well and give me an early target. I didn't like catchers who wouldn't square their body over the location and kind of center themselves where they want the pitch. So there's a lot of preferences, a lot of different catching styles. I know these days guys go down to the knee to get that framing advantage, I guess you can say. The lower you can get, you can kind of pull those low strikes up and kind of fool the umpire a little bit, which seems to work out pretty well these days. But the Yankees do it very well. But a catcher, sometimes they got a great rapport with you. They know your stuff very well. They know what's working that day, what's not working that day. Sometimes on the mound, you're thinking of a certain pitch you want in a certain count to a certain hitter, and the catcher puts it down, and it's like, damn, like we're really on the same page. Like he's seeing what I'm seeing. He understands my stuff, what's comfortable, what's not comfortable today. So that kind of rapport is hard to get, especially with a young guy, a young catcher, young pitcher. So if they can figure something out with Will Warren and Lasagna working really well together, and Will Warren can keep doing this going forward, hey, keep going to it. Ness says, Boone pushing the right buttons. What is happening? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not the biggest Boone guy in the world. Everybody knows that, but I really don't have too many gripes this year based on what he's doing. I mean, there's been a couple moments here and there, but overall, I mean, it's worked out pretty well. I don't want to diminish the decision to pinch hit Goldschmidt there, but anywhere from the 7th to the 9th inning, that's crunch time in the baseball game, especially a close one. Nascaro was getting another at bat there. It was kind of a layup to pinch hit Goldschmidt there. It was a perfect opportunity, especially with a left-hand pitcher on the mound. You don't want to let Nascaro face the left-hand pitcher, so you counter with Goldschmidt, and it worked out perfectly. First pitch, he smoked it. So I'll give credit where credit is due for the decision, but I don't think it was like some huge brainiac, monumental. It's not reinventing the wheel there. It was pretty straightforward managerial decision, and it worked out, which is great. So as long as Boone can do the little things and take the layups where they are, great. I thought he did a good job putting Weaver in yesterday to keep the game close and give the team a chance to win. And he did give the team a chance to win. The Yankees offense just didn't come through with the myriad of opportunities they had, which was unfortunate. Wells didn't pull the ball for a sac fly that was right down the middle. Bellinger missed a couple balls that he wants back. So I think he took one 2-0 that was right down the middle too. So, the Yankees should have won yesterday. They won big in the first game, and they won today. So that very easily could have been a sweep. So a good sign to see from them against a good team. I know the Mariners' starting rotation is banged up right now. I think Miller just went down. No Logan Gilbert, and George Kirby's not pitching right now. So I think he's in the minors doing some rehab and stuff. So we got Wu, but other than that, we kind of got their B rotation. Obviously Luis Castillo is Luis Castillo, but he hasn't been as good this year, or last season he did have his struggles. But today he decided to ramp it up a little bit, and the velocity was up to 96, 97, and he was throwing fastballs by guys all afternoon. So, one of those things, Luis Castillo a little amped up against the Yankees. His heater played up, the velocity played up, apparently. Some people messaging his velocity was down earlier this season, and today he pumped it back up. So adrenaline was definitely flowing. And that slider was good. His changeup is great. His fastball is good. So, he's a guy that we, highly coveted in 2022, a guy that we were very interested in. A lot of us were willing to, put some good prospects on the line for Luis Castillo. Didn't work out, but, he's one of those guys. You just got to, when his stuff is working, you just got to, kind of tread water a little bit and hope when he comes out, there's a close ball game that you could possibly win down the line. Real quick, thank you all guys all for tuning in right now. I know the Knicks are playing. Huge game there. Don't want to tie you over too much with the baseball chatter because, the Knicks could be in the Eastern Conference Finals here very soon. So a big game there. But if you're watching on Twitter, find the Lasagna Show on YouTube. You can go to my Twitter page, my personal profile, click the link in the bio, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you guys for the rest of the season and talk some baseball and, have some fun along the way. So Bernard says last 3 series should have been sweeps. Yeah, definitely were possible. I have to step out here, but great job. Trying his best. You're the man, Bernard. I always love you tuning in. I appreciate your feedback. Talking baseball with you. It's always a pleasure. Jones says rematch with the Pacers. That'll be crazy. That will be crazy. Halliburton is solid. The Celtics just lost Jason Tatum, so you would think that the Knicks would be in good position to close this thing out today. and get to the Eastern Conference Finals and see if they can get a spot in the final. That'd be unbelievable for not only for the Knicks but the city of New York. Knicks fans are totally nuts. I know a lot of you guys are Knicks fans, and I got a lot of friends on Twitter who are also from New York, Knicks fans. So I'm rooting for you guys to feel some sports happiness and see your team get some W's. So that would be interesting to see as that series plays out. Ness says, you think DJ can hang on defense? So far, it looks like it. You know, older guy, big, slow, but you know, usually when the ball's hit to him or he can get to it, it's a play he can make. So definitely, just don't know what you're going to get with the bat, and don't know if he's going to stay healthy. So that would be interesting. Oh, we got Lady Red Sox in the chat. Says go Sox. Unbelievable. You are bringing toxicity to the chat. Unbelievable. Just cannot believe you would do that on a day like today. Jones says his range not great. It's not great. He's an older dude pushing 40 and big, slow, often hurt. You know, not a very not a physical specimen, I guess you can say at this point in his career. But you just hope, you know, the opportunities he does get, he can make the easy plays. Hope he can slap a few singles like he did late in the game today, and we can get a little bit more production out of him than we were getting out of Pablo Reyes. So definitely something to watch there. Gurndog says, love the new show. Thank you so much, man. I love having you in here. The feedback has been really good from the people who have been listening and, you know, kind of following along here. So I appreciate you guys being along for the ride. This has been fun. This is our third week doing it, and it's been a good time, you know, watching baseball and talking baseball with all you guys. So we're going to keep doing it as long as we can through the rest of this season of the playoffs, and we're going to have some fun with it. So I'd love for you guys to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, you can find it in my Twitter bio. Click the link in my bio, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you. Yeah, overall, I mean, that's a gritty win. I was kind of surprised Weaver back-to-back days. I didn't know if Williams might come in. I know Cruz second day in a row, so it started turning out to be a game where management understood this is when we want to win. The Mariners are a good team. You know, we might end up in a situation down the line where we might be close in record. You know, maybe a wild card comes into play. You never really can predict all that kind of stuff. But when you face a good team early and you've got an opportunity to win, you got to try to win those games, and that's what they did. So very excited about that. Jess says Rodon got to be an ace on Friday. Yeah, man, that place is going to be bumping. I really wanted to go to that series. Unfortunately, can't because of work. But yeah, I'm gonna be watching from my couch, and I'll see you guys here. And you know, I might do a Friday through Sunday post game if I can. Friday probably not. Saturday and Sunday it's possible. Just for this series, I mean, this is going to be big time. You know, a lot of times my work schedule varies over the weekends, so you know I can't really predict a Friday through Sunday consistent schedule for post games. But man, this is going to be one where I think we might squeeze some in because there's going to be a lot to talk about. The Bronx is going to be rocking. Juan Soto in town, going to get the shit boot out of him. The Mets are pitching well. Their offense is clicking. They've been, you know, kind of beating up on us the last couple of years. They were in the NLCS. The Yankees were in the World Series. Huge back and forth. You know, Yankees losing Juan Soto to the Mets. So there's a lot of animosity. The fan bases are at each other's throats on Twitter every day. You see the constant back and forth. You see the constant topics about Juan Soto being a failure and taking the money, and he looks unhappy, blah, blah, blah. So it's and he's going to be out there right in the heat of battle in right field, standing there with the short porch and the bleacher creatures jumping down his throat. So it's going to be box office, must-watch television. We'll see if the Yankees faithful lights a fire under Juan Soto's ass and he goes off, or maybe they spin him into the ground and he keeps struggling and you know, looks like a sad puppy dog going back home. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait. Tomorrow is a much needed update for this bullpen, though. Hopefully they'll be well rested for this big series. And it's a 3-game series as well. I think the last few years it's usually a 2-game set for the Subway Series, 2 in the Bronx, 2 in Queens. But I'm glad they're doing 3. So you're going to get a full helping of Yankees versus Mets and everything that comes with it. So I absolutely can't wait for that. Is Matzik high leverage? That one is on Boone decision. I question. Yeah, I mean, I know the bullpen was taxed. I know he can't go to all the same guys he went to yesterday, even though he did go back to Cruz and he did go back to Weaver. So that was definitely encouraging to see the sense of urgency to win that ball game late. Matzik there, I didn't like, though. He's a guy that he still throws hard, 95, 96. He had some success in the Braves that we talked about before. But he's kind of in a phase where he's working on things. He's kind of working his way back to seeing if he can be what he used to be. So it's kind of sketchy to bring him in to close games, high leverage situations when he's still working on stuff. It worked out today, thankfully. He's got to stop walking guys. He throws that flat fastball down the middle too often, which scares me. But it'll be interesting to see if he can get in a little bit of a groove, because we definitely need another lefty in the pen, and he can throw mid-90s. So if he can figure it out somehow, some way, and Matt Blake can work his magic with him, he can be a very valuable piece going forward. So hopefully things work out for him. Jones says Matzek probably gone when Cousins is ready. It's possible. There's going to be some tough decisions to make because Loaiza is real close too. So maybe Matzek is one of the guys that does go. But they need another lefty other than Tim Hill. So it's going to be one of those decisions where, are you going to leave Tim Hill in there as the only lefty? Is there more roster flexibility to add Loaiza and Cousins and still keep Matzek around to have an extra lefty, a little bit more versatility in your pen? So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. It's crazy. It feels like they've played a lot of baseball. There's been a lot of crazy twists and turns this season already. Tough losses, one-run games, close ones, and it's only May 14th. I mean, we got a long, long way to go, but I'm glad to have you guys here for the long haul. It's going to be a good time. Rodolfo says, great to see you again, Johnny. Great win go. He's, I guess, no more NYU. Once again, great to see you. I'm a big fan of yours. You got great knowledge of baseball. Thank you so much, Rodolfo. I love having you in here. I appreciate your kind words so much. It really means a lot. Absolutely. If you did see me on NYU, I'm glad that you found me again and we can reconnect. I still root for the guys with NYU, so no animosity there one bit. Just kind of doing our own thing, but I'm so glad that you were able to find me, and I'm glad you appreciate, a little bit of baseball talk. So great to have you. I hope you're here often, and I really appreciate it. Joan says trade lighter. Tina says I agree with Joan. Lighter's a tough one. I mean, his splitter is good. I can't deny it. He doesn't throw that hard. His curveball is a little slow and loopy. So two completely different pitches there. But when he's throwing that splitter well, it's a good pitch. So, he might be a back end of the, not like a setup guy, but maybe like a middle relief guy. They have gone to lighter in some setup, kind of situations though before. Somewhat recently, so that's a guy they like. Matt Blake is a big fan of those splitters right now, along with sinkers and sliders. So he fits the mold of what Matt Blake likes, which is gonna be something we're gonna keep seeing. So I don't think Lighter's gonna go anywhere, but it'll be interesting to see how the bullpen gets jumbled up with guys coming back. I think Scott Efros is making his way back too. I don't know where he figures into things, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy. He's got that really funky arm angle. So he's, maybe not a priority there. He might be in the minor leagues for a little bit, but yeah, very interesting to see. It's going to be a fun one. But the Yankees have their best starting pitchers lined up for this Mets series. On Friday, we have Carlos Rodon going in Game 1 against McGill. That'll be a good one. I think we can hit McGill though. I know his stuff is pretty solid, but he's had a couple of rough starts lately. I think we got Griff Canning versus Clark Schmidt. Canning's been really good lately, so that's going to be a tough test. He's got a good firm fastball, and the breaking pitches are really nice as well. Motion is a little funky too, so we'll see how we can fare against him. His ERA is 2.36 right now, and he's 5-1, so he's been tough. Going to be a good challenge for this offense. We'll see if Clark Schmidt can keep, building on a pretty solid start his last time out. He's gonna have a tough test. There in the Bronx, he's going to be rocking. They do have some good lefties in that lineup, so he's going to have to get that cutter inside and not miss middle. Going to be interesting to see how he fares there. And then you got Peterson on Sunday against Max Fried, who is 6-0 with a 1.11 ERA. That's the Sunday night game on ESPN. Yankees, a lot of us who watch the Yankees often on ESPN know that for whatever reason we're somewhat cursed on ESPN, which is unfortunate. But you got Max Fried on the hill, and it's going to be prime time. Bronx is going to be absolutely nuts. So hopefully the environment there and the animosity with the crowd for us is going to play in our favor as the Yankees try to take an early advantage in the Subway Series. little bit of bragging rights there too. I mean, the fan bases have been at each other's throats since Soto left the Yankees to go to the Mets. So this will be the first matchup where some of those flames are going to get fanned. It's going to get ugly in the stands. It's going to get ugly for Juan Soto, and it's going to be ugly on Twitter with it back and forth. So I'm excited for it. I mean, I'm not the biggest chaos guy, but this is going to be a fun type of chaos to see with both fan bases at each other's throats. Joan says if Efros has options, okay, so he probably will go down. Joan also says Mets #1 starter ERA. Yeah, offense. Our offense is going to be tested. You know, the Mets starting pitching, and I think their bullpen's been pretty good, but their pitching in general has been ranked pretty high. Our offense to this point has been ranked pretty high as well. So, you know, what's going to give first? Is the good pitching going to keep pitching well, or is the great offense, you know, going to bring them back down to earth a little bit? Going to be fun to see. But, you know, we did see some pretty good pitching in this Mariners series as well. Wu looked good yesterday. Their bullpen was fantastic yesterday, and they won that game. Their pitching looked good again today. Castillo was tough. So we've seen some good pitching here recently. We're going to see some more on Friday through Sunday. So hopefully this little Mariners series against some better pitching was a nice little tune-up for them to go face the Mets in the Bronx and, you know, make some noise and give us a little bit of something to brag about over here. Marissa says we've got to step up. Absolutely. I would love to see these guys go deep. Judge, Goldschmidt keep hitting, Ben Rice, Trent Grisham, Volpe, Wells, you know, all the guys up there. Bellinger, hopefully all of them are hitting good. Lou says it's going to be a fun weekend. All the boys need to show up, 100%. I feel confident about it. I know we hadn't had success against the Mets the last 2 years, but I feel pretty good about it. So we'll see if that good feeling is actually worth something, and we'll find out here pretty shortly. But once again, guys, if you are watching on Twitter, please go on my Twitter page, click the link in my bio, find the Lasagna Show, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you guys for the rest of the season and going forward. But all right, guys, I know the Knicks and Celtics are playing right now, so there's a lot on the line. A lot of New York fans are watching all that stuff, so I will get out of your hair. Great series from the Yankees. Absolutely love to see them winning a game like this today after, you know, a tough loss yesterday, and we'll see if some of this momentum can play into the Mets series, and hopefully there are some good things coming Friday through Sunday. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. If I don't see you again, have a great rest of your weekend as well. And as always, go Yankees. See you guys.